Topic number one today. It's time to do some Evan Miya related content. Love Evan Miya. Evan Miyakawa. He's in the Discord, by the way. If you're looking for a reason to join the Discord, you can interact with Evan Miya himself. His final transfer rankings have come out, Cart. And I screenshotted this yesterday because I want to run these by you because there's people that I trust in the metrics world, Evan being the premier one. Trust what his numbers say, all of his models, every little bit of work that he does, I think enhances college basketball. And then there's you, who, let's make no mistake about it, you like to just be like eye test, you like to be feel, you like to say what your heart feels. So I want to know if your heart agrees with what Evan Miya's transfer rankings are here. His official final 2024 transfer class rankings. I'm going to go down the list of the top 15. Number 1, St. John's, best transfer class in the country. 2, Vanderbilt, headlined by A.J. Hoggard. 3, Louisville, headlined by Chucky Hepburn. 4, Indiana. 5, Kansas State. 6, Missouri. 7, Michigan. 8, Arkansas. 9, Memphis. 10, Kansas. 11, Baylor. 12, Kentucky. 13, Ole Miss. 14, UCLA. 15, Texas Tech. Your thoughts?
So one always respect to my good friend Evan Maradona's work. He is Himothy in the analytics space. I will always hold weight for my coffee king, Evan Miya. With that said, I need discussions on this. I do, because look, if you want to tell me that Kadari Richmond has that much pull for St. John's, honestly, I'm all for that, because I think Kadari Richmond could be a first-team All-American, right? So, like, that's not out of the ordinary to put them up there. But you got to talk to me on why Vanderbilt's number 2. You got to talk to me on that. I don't understand that. It doesn't make much sense to me. And look, I think that he touched on a lot of the major transfer classes here. But I don't know how you can make an argument that Vanderbilt and Missouri had better recruiting classes than the likes of Kansas, transfer classes than the likes of Kansas, Baylor, even a team like Arkansas. Like, I don't know how that equates.
So going through Vanderbilt's names here, like
Indiana, sorry, I overlooked Indiana. Like, Indiana, like, had one of the better, and they're behind Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt added 10 transfers. I think that's part of this. Like, the teams that needed to literally build an entire roster from transfers, like, belong up here, right? Jason Edwards is probably the biggest, like, production name guy. 19 points a game for North Texas last year. Outside of that, like, AJ Hoggard might actually be the best or second best player that they added. I think Evan himself would probably he doesn't dispute what his model tells him. Like, I know that from talking to him in the past, but I do think Evan is also, like, practical enough to, like, look at the results and be like, oh, that's surprising that my model points this out, and then kind of flesh out why that could be the case. I'd love to hear his explanation of, like, why is Vanderbilt here, because I don't think Evan truly would say that, like, the impact of the players Vanderbilt has added is more impressive than, like, what Indiana's group has. Michigan at 7 feels maybe a little right to me, but, like, it would feel more right if some of the schools ahead of them weren't ahead of them. Like, I'm taking Michigan's class for sure over Vanderbilt, for sure over Missouri's. I think over Kansas State's, like, with all due respect to Coleman Hawkins and Achor, like, I don't know. Am I off base in thinking, like, Roddy Gale, Danny Wolf, Lad Golden is a much better starter level trio than some of these schools ahead of them?
I mean, yeah, but Coleman, Chor, McDaniel, they got big ooh.
I guess
mean,
that's a toss up.
It's a toss up. It's a toss up. I would say, but like
What about
like
Louisville?
you said,
Chucky Hepburn, Terrence Edwards, Kayshawn Pryor. I mean, there's more, but, like, aren't those the premier names?
Probably a toss up too.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh, I forgot. You do the Kayshawn Pryor dance a lot.
I do love Kayshawn Pryor.
I forgot. Yeah, Terrence Edwards is really good. Maybe.
I mean, but also, like, when you look at it too, like, this takes into factor, like, who left as well. Like, I saw someone comment that Arizona should be in here, but Arizona lost a lot too.
Why isn't Illinois in the top 25? I only read the top 15. Illinois is not even in the top 25. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Why does it make sense to you? Is it time to say it out loud a little bit?
because they're transfer class. They did a good job of getting guys and hustling towards the end, but Kasparis is not a transfer. Kasparis is not a transfer. Will Riley's not a transfer. Big T, not a transfer. Merez, not a like the bulk of their transfers might not play as much as you think and might not be as good as you think. Like Kylan, Trey White, and
Harry
Kerry
Booth,
Booth.
Rickhouse.
Uh, Okay, Humrickhouse is a good ad, but outside of that, Humrickhouse is carrying a lot of weight for that class, I think. Credit to Brad for pivoting, but he traveled on that first move.
Okay. Yeah. Just feel like we got a lot of shit for people being like, oh, you're way too down on Illinois transfers. Like, nah, there's a lot of analytics that back up that these guys aren't the most impactful players for good teams. So the freshmen and the other ads they have are really impressive to me, but maybe that group of guys that we just mentioned is not going to be the most impactful for Illinois. I guess we'll find out. Who is the best transfer class in the country? Like, I mean, he has St. John's one. I don't think that's a crazy take, given that, in my opinion, they got the best transfer in the country in Kadari Richmond. If we were to go through St. John's entire class, it's
Wait, oh,
Kadari.
whoa. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off here. Did Alabama not make the top 25?
Appears they did not. No.
Huh. That's very interesting. Well, I guess I mean they brought back a lot. It's not necessarily transfer, but like
Yeah.
Big Cliff.
Yeah. It's interesting. St. John's class only has 4 players in it, but Richmond, Davon Smith, Aaron Scott, and Vince Iwuchukwu is enough to be the number one class in the country.
That's crazy. I would have Kansas one.
Okay.
I think you got to have Kansas one. Store, Mayo, Griffin. Yeah, that would probably be my number one class.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Kansas all the way down at 10, I believe, on this list. Yeah, I think that's the right answer. I would go Kansas. I would consider Indiana. And I think that's really it. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised that the model shows that there are higher teams. But anyways, go subscribe to Evan Miya. We love Evan Miya, friend of the program for sure. He was on the draft show. Shout out to him for joining. And if you want more insights from him, join the Sleepers Discord. You can interact with him yourself.